All right, everyone. Welcome to Points in the Paint, brought to you by For Fantasy's Sake, sponsored by Yard Barbers. Huge shout out to Yard Barbers for sponsoring our show tonight. I'm Andrew. My partner is in crime, Sam Odiemi. Did
Hey guys.
I pronounce it right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Honestly, you said it so fast I couldn't even remember announced it right. Guess that's
I
one way
said it.
around
I'm
it.
like, I'm just gonna go for it. If I get it right, great. I'm probably gonna botch it though.
It's like
But
pronouncing
no, I didn't. But wanted to kick off tonight's show. Started off talking about obviously the big signing in the NBA over the weekend. Blake Griffin to the Nets demanded his release from the Pistons. Sam, what do you think about the signing? Do you think that that's now a super team, or do you think that's more of the style of okay, when the Lakers signed Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Kobe, and
Hmm.
Shaq?
That's a nice analogy. No, I definitely think they're a super team. I thought they were a super team before with Harden, Kyrie, and KD. And then obviously you still have DeAndre Jordan, Jeff Green. But Blake just gives them another body. And I mean, Blake, even in a limited role for the Nets, or, is still going to be, a big player for them. It's kind of funny because they're literally stacking like all the players that they can get. And they're rumored to be going after Andre Drummond too if he reaches a buyout. So they're doing all this obviously just to challenge the Lakers. I mean, let's be real. Like that's all to take down LeBron.
Yep.
Because I mean, what they had already was probably good enough to get them out of the East anyways. But they're just doing all this for LeBron and the Lakers. So I I get it. It's sports. I get it. Blake at this career. A lot of guys are ring chasing. Especially Blake. So I get it. Do I think that puts them over the top to win the title? I still want to see how they gel and they come together. And defensively, I still want to see how they look. I mean, they got some firepower. I mean, they got some size now with Blake and DeAndre. And so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all gels. That's gonna be key. And especially like with this season. I mean, what is it? Like I don't even know how many games are left now. I mean, it's like halfway. We just reached All-Star break, so but then they had to gel on the fly and put it all together. So it'll be a nice little experiment to watch. Moving forward for the rest of the season.
Looks like there's about 30, 35 games left, 30, somewhere in
Yeah,
there,
that's a
depending
good that's a good
depending
size.
um, but what I wanted to ask you was I saw something interesting over the week, like right after the signing, actually, was that this trend has followed Kevin Durant his entire career. Is that he's just trying to get on a team that can beat LeBron. He did it with the Thunder. He couldn't beat LeBron. So then ended up going and joining the Warriors to beat LeBron. Actually lost to LeBron one time in the finals.
Yep, 2012.
Yep. And then goes and now joins Brooklyn to formulate another super team just to try and beat LeBron. I've kind of sat there and thought about this, and that's what every team is trying to do. They're trying to be the best, so they're trying to form a team to beat the best. But that's just it's weird how Kevin Durant kind of crossed paths with that trend more often than not in his career.
Did you actually see that tweet that Kevin Durant posted, or that it was an old tweet from like um 2010 when LeBron went to Miami? He posted a tweet saying like, "Why is everybody teaming up? Joining forces. Let's go back to the old days where people were being competitive." And then they brought that tweet up again when he signed with Golden State, which obviously people are just never going to let that go.
Yeah.
And then now with the Brooklyn situation, it's like, well, there's the same thing. Like, you and Kyrie were good. You're a good enough duo with the team you had around you to get you to the finals. Okay, let's trade our everything around us for James Harden. Did you really need James Harden? Maybe, maybe not. Only time will tell. Get James Harden. Okay, now let's go get Blake Griffin. Oh, hey, we can probably get DeMarcus Cousins or Andre Drummond, as well. Like, so it's like, well, Kevin, you're reaching that point now where you're kind of doing the same thing LeBron does. And you already won a ring. When LeBron did it with Miami, LeBron didn't win a ring. He couldn't win a ring, with Cleveland. That's why he did it. So
I will say that to Kevin Durant's credit, going to Golden State, in my opinion, ruined his reputation a bit.
yeah.
Going to get that championship, great. Congratulations. You got your ring. Whoop-de-doo. But going and getting that ring anymore I don't feel like it means as much because it's all super teams.
Yeah.
It did, going back to, when it was a dynamic duo, Kobe and Shaq doing it, Wade and Shaq did it. Even when the Pistons, when they came in and won it with Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups, that wasn't a super team. That was just a team that had a lot of good guys on there. They built it up through a draft and some small free agent signings, and then that team ended up, parting ways after. I think it was a year or two after that.
You talking about the Pistons?
Yes.
No, they remember 2004 and 2005 they went to the finals. Remember 2000
Yeah, but I'm talking about after that. Like 2005, I think that might have been the last year that they were a unit.
2006, I believe Ben Wallace went to Chicago. Remember Chicago signed to that 4-year contract. And then like Chauncey Billups got traded to Denver. Rip Hamilton, I think Rip was still there because they made the Eastern Conference Finals like 5 years in a row. It was like 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, and then 2008 they lost to the Celtics in the conference finals. 2007 they lost to Cleveland. In 2006 they lost to Miami. So all those years they were still like literally in the conference finals, and then after that run ended, I think in 2008 they broke it up in 2009. That's when they traded for Allen Iverson, traded Chauncey Billups to Denver. I think Ben Wallace, and then they had Antonio McDyess, but that was just a veteran team that was able to do that. The Tayshaun Prince, and that was good. That was good for basketball. I remember that 2004 team. I remember rooting for them that year when they played the Lakers, just because everybody rooted against the Lakers that year. That was actually my first year watching basketball, so that was pretty interesting. I remember the finals and everything, and yeah.
No, that was a great year. I was definitely on the Pistons side as well. I was a big Ben Wallace fan. Rasheed Wallace was even in there.
Yep, guaranteed.
It was just like you said. It was a team full of solid guys that could play basketball well. They weren't, dishing out tons of money for these guys to sign superstars. They were just, they were a lot of role guys. Which kind of goes into what the Nets are doing right now is signing and trying to get all these, former superstars and now more role guys. But I feel like they're going to end up paying a lot of money for them. Going out and getting Boogie, going out and getting Drummond, going out and getting Blake Griffin. They already have DeAndre Jordan. How many big guys down low do they actually need? And that KD, Harden, and Kyrie are going to play the entire game anyways.
Yep.
So in my mind, why are you not going? I understand that you want your stars to play, but in my mind, why are you not going out and getting, a reliable, backup point guard, some reliable forwards, some reliable guys that can shoot other than Joe Harris, that can kind of give KD, give Harden, give Kyrie, breaks, so that they're not, because at some point they're going to run out of gas, and that's ultimately how you're going to beat the Nets if they continue this trend, is play good defense, try and outlast them. And I don't understand what they're doing.
It's an arms race, Andrew. It's an arms race. The teams, the Lakers are even looking at signing like Boogie or Drummond if they can. It's just teams at this point. Milwaukee might, they're just trying to stack their arms, stack as much as they can in anticipation for a deep postseason run. That's all it is. It's the second half push. I get it. Obviously you had 30 or 30 plus games already to kind of see how your team looks now. And all right, is there any way we can get better? Is there any way we can improve? So it's man, I do not know what to expect. Especially at the East. The Eastern Conference is really really just murky. I mean, are we just gonna just say Brooklyn's gonna come out the East? Are we just guaranteeing that? Because I can still see them slipping up, especially if defensively they have some problems. If they run into a team where they can be exposed defensively, then it doesn't matter. What happens. And I mean, to rely on Kevin, and Kyrie, who was literally just out last season to play like heavy minutes and lead them to the finals, we'll see.
I mean, they're up on the Celtics right now.
Yeah, I literally was just looking at that before I started talking. Yeah. But yeah, I mean the Celtics too. I mean the Celtics have been a disappointment. The Celtics, I think that their championship window is like just all but shut. And I mean I think it's really just their point guard position because Kemba hasn't been the same. He's been injured with his knee. So like when they have a solid point guard, running their show, then they're good. And what's crazy too is I always said they should have never let Terry Rozier leave. I mean they should have kept Terry Rozier there, but they're saying, oh, he's not. I mean, they should have kept Terry Rozier and had him play. And Terry's tough. He's a great defender. He would have fitted perfectly with Smart and Tatum and Brown and all the things Boston did. Boston would probably be like the 1 or 2 seed in the East if they had Rozier, along with what they had now. But they let him walk. They let him leave. Kyrie left. They got Kemba. They thought they could upgrade, and Kemba got hurt, unfortunately. So that's really hurt them in the long term. So Boston's been kind of suspect. Philadelphia, I think, Embiid's looking like more and more like the dominant big we thought he would be. Yeah. So they're going to be fun to watch. We'll see what Simmons does in the playoffs. I think Simmons is like just playing his game. He's not worried about all that outside noise about hey he can't shoot or whatnot. Just play your game.
Speaking of Embiid, the Sixers are up 10 on the Bulls right now.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. I just checked that before we went live, and I literally had that penciled as a W because Embiid and Simmons are not playing. But granted, it's the first game outside of All-Star break, so there's definitely a lot of rust. But this is a game we should win. I mean,
Bias is going off. He's got 24.
It's not fair to ask Patrick Williams to guard Tobias either. This is where we need like Otto Porter Jr. or Garrett Temple, somebody a 4. But Otto Porter Jr. would be perfect, but he's hurt. So,
I mean, Markkanen, Levine, and White, they're playing well, but it's the other guys that are kind of low. I mean,
Thaddeus Young.
Williams he's got 25 minutes, but he's only got 4 points. Wendell Carter, he's got 15 minutes. He's got 8 points.
I'm looking up.
Thaddeus Young, he's got 16 minutes, 14 points, so it's respectable. But I mean, some of these other guys, like Kobe White, is 7 for 16 from the field. Like,
terrible. A little, just 40%, just around 40.
Yeah,
12 shots.
You just gotta find a little, and there's still a lot of basketball left to be played.
Yeah, another quarter.
So you have a whole nother quarter. They're down by 12 right now, so it's definitely not any room to worry.
These first these games, these first couple of nights, are going to be kind of interesting just because teams are working off that long layout. They had a long layoff, so perfectly understandable. But yeah, I mean, and while the NBA teams kind of get their feet under them, the college teams are going to be playing games every day, while in advance of tournament time. So
yeah, I'm watching one of my dark horse teams right now, and they're trailing, but they're not trailing by much. It's actually a pretty good game.
Who's that?
Sam Houston State.
Okay.
They are down by 2 against Lamar right now. I don't think Sam Houston's going to get a super high seed, but I do like them getting in and maybe playing spoiler for a few teams. I don't think they're going to be the Loyola this year by any means.
Yeah. Looks like looks like Penn State's up on Wisconsin now by 5. And I know somebody said Penn State was playing pretty good leading into that tournament. So if they beat Wisconsin, I'm not sure if I will play them or not. I thought we were supposed to play Wisconsin, but I think we play the winner of that game.
If Penn State wins, Had it pulled up.
Oh man, Kentucky lost by 1 point to Mississippi
So
State.
Iowa would play the winner of Wisconsin and Penn State.
Okay.
So as it stands right now, tomorrow it's Michigan versus Maryland. I think Michigan takes that one handily.
Yeah.
Purdue versus Ohio State. I actually like Purdue. I like Purdue a lot. Illinois beats Rutgers, and then Iowa ends up beating the winner of Wisconsin and Penn State. Next round, I think you have – I don't know. I think that if you have anybody beat Michigan, it's Purdue in this tournament. Because I think if Michigan gets to the finals, I think they win it no matter who they go up against. But I think Purdue has I don't know why, but I think Purdue has the firepower and the team to beat them. I think Illinois could give them a fight. I think Iowa could give them a fight. But I think realistically, I think Purdue is the team that would knock Michigan out of this tournament.
Understood.
And I also think that the winner of that game, Michigan versus Purdue, will win the championship. I want Iowa to win it so bad, but they've been too inconsistent for me to depend on this year.
That's Iowa for you.
And so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna count them out already, with the very slim hope that they prove me wrong.
Prove you wrong.
Yep.
Make me eat my words, Iowa. Hawkeyes, if you're watching this, Luca, if you're watching this,
those will be the happiest words
Bohannon,
I've ever eaten.
Fran, if you're listening, play this before. Frederick, the Murray twins, Toussaint, anybody, you guys are watching this, McCaffrey brothers, make us eat our words. Hope we really want you to. I mean, I've watched Iowa for like 12 years now, and it's been the same story. And I always do go like this and right back down. So,
but if they don't win the Big 10 tournament, they're gonna get into the NCAA tournament. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I want to see us at least make some noise in the Big 10 tournament. Like, hey, we're here. We're here to play. We're not going to just come out here and lose the first game. No, we deserve to be one of the top teams in this conference. And then we're going to show you why we should be one of the top teams in the country. So I think we're good enough. If we just play our style of basketball, I think that's key. So tomorrow should be interesting. I hope I can catch the game tomorrow. I got a lot planned going on tomorrow, so hopefully I can catch that game.
Well, games will start at 11:30 tomorrow.
Yeah. I wish that game was on at 11:30. That'd be perfect to watch for lunch or something. But the Iowa game's not till 8.
Yeah, you might have to wait, to watch Iowa until Saturday after they beat. I'm telling you, it's already going to happen. So I'm going to knock on wood that Iowa does come away with a win tomorrow and is able to play Saturday and hopefully on to Sunday. But the tournament that I'm watching the most right now is the Big 12 tournament.
So Oklahoma State just won.
Yep. OK State beat West Virginia today, so that was huge for them. Nice little upset. I know Linda Lyons is pretty happy with that.
Kansas beat Oklahoma.
Kansas, that doesn't surprise me. What surprised me was that Iowa State almost beat Oklahoma. That game was a lot closer than it should have been.
Iowa State was terrible this. Oh my God, they only 2-22 this year.
Yeah, they did not do well at all.
No, I didn't know they were that bad this year.
They were very bad.
Oh,
they were very, very bad.
I see.
Linda's Oklahoma State team is going to be playing Baylor next round.
That's a rematch from
tomorrow.
last week. That's literally a rematch from last Saturday.
You know what? I'm already saying that Baylor is winning this tournament.
Probably.
Baylor's just so good. You can't stop them. I mean, it's unfair what they do, and it just pisses me every time. Texas up by 7 on Texas.
I think that's still early though.
I'm a big Texas fan.
I like Shaka Smart.
It's very early, but weeks and poured hard out Texas in hopes that they are able to get to the tournament, make some noise. I think that they're going to do well. But
it's still early with Texas.
I think Baylor,
I love Shaka Smart. Andrew, I think you're glitching.
I think am I glitching?
No, you're back now, but you were earlier when you were saying Kansas. And I think it's good now.
Okay. Well, I don't know what was happening, but Kansas, I think they have a shot at maybe beating Baylor. But
they beat them. They beat them last time.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I say I think they're the only ones that has a shot. Just Baylor's so good.
Yeah, they're a team. They're a team.
I'm drooling over Baylor for the night. But yeah, I mean, Selection Sunday is coming up on Sunday. We're gonna have the winners of the tournaments in their respective conferences set in stone. We're gonna have our seeds set, and then I know that we're gonna be filling out brackets over the weekend and into next week. I'm excited to compare who we have, and I'm gonna say there's gonna be a lot of similarities, but I think that we're gonna disagree on some things. Obviously,
I might go a little crazy with my bracket this year, like a COVID bracket or something. I might hey, I'm definitely picking all my 12 seeds over 5 seeds. I'm always gonna do 12 over 5. If you're a 5 seed, I'm sorry, I'm picking against you. I just hope any of the teams. I don't think any of the teams. I guess it is this year though, so this could be the year that the 5 seeds actually win. Just with everything going on. But usually the 12, that's an upset waiting to happen.
Sports in general have just been turned upside down, so maybe you should pick 5 seeds. I don't know. Maybe this is the year the 1 seeds all lose.
I've seen the 1 seed lose in the first round, like Virginia a few years ago. So anything's possible.
Oh. So Virginia Tech is only up by 3 on North Carolina right now. Keep in mind, North Carolina is unranked. I don't know why.
North Carolina, Duke, Michigan State, Kentucky, like all the top programs this year have just been like.
Well, Duke is out of the tournament because of COVID. Yeah. They're positive COVID test, so Duke isn't playing anymore.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were going up against. I don't remember who it was.
I just saw it. It just said like postponed or something like it.
But remember what I said about Villanova and them tanking? If they even make the tournament, they lost. They lost Georgetown.
I don't say losing to Georgetown, but yeah, it's their backup point guard got hurt like minutes into his game. And I'm like, oh man, now you're looking at your third stringer. So I'm like, it's just not their luck.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for them, but I mean, it really could not have come at a worse time for Villanova. I mean, I think that they were a team that a lot of people had possibly going far, just as a lower seed, maybe one of those middle seeds. I would have as well, but I mean, without their starting point guard, I was counting them out. Florida State was the one who was playing Duke.
Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say Florida State too. That's what I was thinking of.
But yeah, the March Madness is right around the corner. We're excited for it. I'm ready to see some upsets. I'm not ready for my bracket to be busted, but I'm ready for my bracket to get busted. I'm ready to get mad watching it crumble and be frustrated at some team who just has no business being in the Elite Eight.
I think this year, man, anything is possible. I just with everything going on, I want to keep as open-minded as possible. Like anything can happen, and I just don't know.
Wisconsin is now up by 4 on Penn State with about a minute left in the half.
Wonder if they're starting to seize control.
I think so. I don't see Penn State beating Wisconsin. I really don't. I think it's going to end up being Wisconsin that moves on and plays Iowa.
Way too many games going on now.
Well, yeah, you gotta. It's March. It's madness time.
The Bulls are getting slacked by the Sixers, 112-88.
Oh, yeah, that game turned hard.
The Sixers are not that good. Even without Embiid, that's man.
Bulls,
it's bad.
They're streaky. They're streaky, man.
Everybody from the Sixers is getting off, though. Even Frank Korkmaz has 16. Dwight Howard has 16 off the bench. Shake Milton has 10. Bradley has 14. Curry has 12.
I'm surprised
Shake
13. Milton only has 10.
That balance is what's killing us. I mean, for us, it's like
one player on the 76ers that I'm a fan of that's not a giant starter, it's Shake Milton.
I like Shake Milton.
I absolutely love the way he plays. I think he's a very solid bench guy. And I think that if they don't keep him, he's going to go and he's going to be a starter somewhere and he's going to make some noise.
I think they will because he's another ball handler they can play alongside Ben Simmons.
They keep him. But, I mean, you're paying Danny Green a lot of money to put up 9 points a game. And you're paying Tobias Harris a lot of money right now. At some point, you gotta let your role guys go, or let your guys that you're paying a shit ton of money to go. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they would be dumb to let Shake Milton go. I hope to God that they are.
Doc's there now. Doc's the GM, isn't he? No, it's Daryl Morey. No, Morey ain't letting him walk. He ain't stupid.
We'll see. But yeah, we'll be doing brackets. We'll be sure to let you guys know. Maybe we can talk our founders, DJ and Doug, into doing a show on Sunday after Selection Sunday. Maybe we can talk our founders into opening up a giant March Madness bracket pool for all our fantasy sake followers. Yeah, we're calling you guys out on the air. DJ and Doug, we're calling you guys out. So if you guys want a part of it, be sure to message us, let us know, and I'm sure they'll make it happen. But for me, that's about it. Sam, I don't know if you have anything left to add.
Like you said, Andrew said, reach out to us. Our Twitter handles are listed below, I believe, and just let us know. What's on your mind. If you want us to talk about something, let us know. I mean, nothing really controversial going on now.
It was covered by the Yard Barbers overlay. My bad.
But I think the only big thing in NBA is the Myers Leonard situation, but even that's kind of just, that's going to sort itself out. I mean, but nothing really going on like in NBA or anything. It's like the dog days now between now and the playoffs. I mean, obviously NCAA is getting ready to heat up. Oh, I guess the NBA trading deadline too is coming up. So just kind of keep my eye on to see on like who's going to be moved, like what's like, are there any big name players going anywhere? Is Victor Oladipo going to get moved from Houston? Bradley Beal.
Yeah, it very well could. But we will be live next Thursday at 8:30 again, where we will have a complete idea of the March Madness brackets seeding. We will be into our first games. We'll have our play-in games going on, and we'll be able to talk about who we think is going to be going to the Final Four championship game and who's going to win it all. But join us next Thursday, and we'll see you then. Take care.
Take care, guys. We'll see you next Thursday.